What's up, Lucky Lefty Podcast, Honor Boys? We are in the building, and we are brought to you by Honor Whiskey on Bleav Network. Tap in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, only at Bleav Network, and we are presented by FanDuel. Notre Dame is favored by a bunch of points, headed up to West Lafayette this morning, and we probably won't even talk about this Purdue game until Thursday because there's so much to talk about in the aftermath of this debacle we just all watched on Saturday night. And left that dude, the original Lucky Lefty himself, he was on the ground. He was there. I promise you, he has a notebook full of notes that he's ready to drop. Notebook full. So strap in. Look at that. Look at that. Strap in, Notre Dame fans, because I'm about to let Left off the leash to start this show. Brought to you by Honor Whiskey. And unfortunately, you got to wait till Saturday to drink a victory shot. But when you drink, make sure that you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it, Left. Lucky Lefty, Honor Boys in the building. YouTube, subscribe, share, hit that like button. Leave your comments, questions, we respond to all. TikTok, Twitter X, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod. Audio edibles over at Bleav Network, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And as always, we are presented by FanDuel. Lock in on patreon.com. Just for $5 a month, patreon.com, you get 5 incredible shows. 5 incredible shows behind enemy lines with myself as I'll interview players and also not players, but media types that cover the opposing team each and every week. And we'll hear audio from opposing coaches and players. That's on patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. The Players Only podcast this week is going to feature Derek Curry, Jerron Jones, MALIK, and Reggie Brooks. They'll be holding it down this week. I think next week is going to be Cam McDaniel, Rakai Nelson. It's going to be a host of Notre Dame players every week. Players Only podcast. You're hearing it directly from the guys that don the gold helmet exclusively over at patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. And then Left is going to be diving into the film, posting individual clips exclusively on Patreon. I'm telling you, all of the great content we're going to give you and hop on the message board over there is great. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Can I say something, Left, before I let you off the leash? I just want to say, Notre Dame fans, your prayers have been answered. Let me tell you why. After that game last night, I felt it in my spirit. And the spirit said, Sean, the fans need a call-in show for nights like this. I heard it clear as day, Left. The fans need a call-in show for nights like this. So Notre Dame fans, you've been asking for it. You've been saying SD2 mics. Can you give it to us? And I'm here to tell you, it's on the way. It's on the way. I don't know the name that we're going to give it. I don't know which day is going to happen. But
Notre Dame
the Notre Dame fan call-in show, courtesy of Lucky Lefty, is on its way. It's on its way. Your prayers have been answered. I finally heard it. I was like, yeah, this one. I'm like, yeah, the fans need an outlet for something like this. Because this is crazy.
Just go ahead, man. Just talk.
Yeah. So lock in everything, tap in. You guys been doing an incredible job tapping in over at Bleav Network on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Continue to do so. We appreciate you. We keep running the numbers up each week, more and more downloads. And we promise we're going to do our best to continue to give you the best content that we can give you. What's up, Double R? All right, Left. Go ahead, man. It's your show.
You might have to set me up because it's just so many points.
Okay.
This is Notre Dame on fire.
Look at the hat.
This is Notre Dame on fire today.
Notre Dame on fire. So that's kind of
what it
setting
is.
the tone. The hat that Left is wearing is setting the tone for what he's about to say. Now, I assume that he's going to talk about the totality of the game, not just the offense, but the defense as well. I have already received an earful from Left via text yesterday, via phone today. And after he's done, I'm going to have a heart-to-heart on this show in the second half with head coach Marcus Freeman.
Heart-to-heart.
I'm going to have a heart-to-heart. And it's not the first heart-to-heart I've had on this show. Because the word brother in what I say is going to be layered. It's going to be layered. It has to be talked about. And I need my brother to really understand that he's on the Damascus road right now. This is your Damascus moment, right? This is Damascus here, bro. And this is Damascus. You better come to Jesus in a lot of different ways and get this thing together. Because at the end of the day, everybody that you might think has your back, you'll look around and they won't be there.
They won't be there.
Or you'll look around and they'll be the ones coming for you. I'm telling you how life works. But we're brought to you by Honora Whiskey. If you have a super chat or a GTB question, post it. We'll get to it. I got ND Milton fan. How bad is it that the D linemen are Canadian? Oh, he's trolling. He wants to set you off, Lev. He wants to set you off.
That I have a lot of problem with that, but just
go ahead, Lev.
I think the beginning of everything was just I got a good understanding and a feel for where the team was. I got a chance to go to the locker room, got a chance to talk to Christian Gray, got to see Tay Johnson, got to see Jay Love, got to see the boys. First of all, the amenities. I cannot relate to the experience that these kids are having just on a comfortability level. I think a big thing that is going on is just Notre Dame is just too good in some areas. Like the amenities are just too, they're playing ping pong, they're playing Madden, they getting all types of meals, big chains. It's not real. It's not real. And I think a lot of that plays into the attitude we take on the field. I mean, these kids are building generational wealth instead of generational football skills. And I can't blame them. I mean, all the things that are going on, it's like football it's just something to do. I mean, you got guys having investment properties, guys doing the crypto thing, building businesses. I mean, they got portfolios. The 4 for 40 is alive and well at Notre Dame, especially for the kids. I mean, I remember we used to have to take the B12 shots. You get your little turkey sandwich, you on your way. No, they get the meals. They got couches that vibrate, the ping pong table. I mean, these guys have a lot of luxury when we're supposed to be at war. It's like the same as the military. If we were just decking the military out in the flyest stuff, paying them OD, they probably wouldn't be the same fighters in real life. Now, I'm sure that happens across the board with the NIL and all the things included, but I think it's a direct effect to the attitude that we carry on the field. I mean, these brothers are smooth. I think they're just too well oiled up, too lotioned up on the elbows, too suited and booted, too proper and prim. And it doesn't give us the edge. we're very soft around the edges, and it's just the environment. I mean, you go in there and get the oohing and eyeing. I almost forgot there was a football game today. So the level of comfortability, I think, is just so high that it needs to be popped. I didn't know it was as bad until I got there. You know, when I'm thinking of my experience, you know, losing the game, we got hot dogs and hamburgers. It's getting so nice, they don't even have to leave the football facility anymore after a couple years. I mean, this is real money. And I think it does give the difference between professional athletes and them getting the same money and then college. I just don't think college kids are ready for that kind of money. I just don't think so. Ain't enough on the line. Because at least when you're professional, that money sounds good till you got to pay bills. They kids living rent-free. At 18, 19, they like. So I think that does affect just how intense they go out there and do their job. That's one point. Now, is that something we can fix? I just think this is the era of entitlement football. We are an entitled football team. That's just what it is. We are the well-fed trust fund football team of college football. Everybody getting money. I mean, the guy that's 3 or 4 on the depth chart got some bread going on. I mean, these guys are professionals. But I think it takes away from the edge, right? I think that's what translates to the field. And then I haven't even got to the game yet, but these are just the things I'm observing leading up to the game. I mean, I was only there, you know, the bus and the walk, and they got the walkthroughs. And I mean, when we did walkthroughs, it was a walkthrough, everybody on the bus. We go back to the hotel, whatever. They come, they got people over there. They got people hanging out over there playing the game. Just not what you would think of strategizing for a game. Like, you know, you would think guys sitting in the film and watching some extra film, guys meeting up, talking about the strategy, guys, you know, more focused on they playing the game and eating all this food and messing with their chains and TikTok dancing. It's like, wait a minute. I got a game in a couple of hours. It's just too relaxed. So when adversity hits on the field, I can see why our response is just not as urgent. It's just like we go through the motions because that's you know, we got to do that to get the bread. You know, you just show up. I got to show up to the job. If I do the minimum and get paid, don't really matter. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we need to start cutting and trading. There's got to be something on the line. There's nothing on the line for these kids once you get into school. The hardest thing about Notre Dame is getting into school. Now that you're a football player, it's sickening. I don't see, like, another thing. Jeremiah Love as an example. You're the best player on the team, but just the response of how the team interacts with you, it doesn't give me that your presence is making everybody else better. And it's alarming, and I bring it up because it's like you're the best player, but you're not the captain. How are you not a captain of the team? In a time like this, our best players, in my opinion, need to be the captain. And it's just the interaction from the team and him just don't seem connected. You know, Ashton Genty from Boise State was the team. Everybody loved Ashton. It was Ashton and the Boise State Broncos. I think Jeremiah Love's a better player. But even when he gets tackled or he scores a touchdown, the team isn't and that goes for even how they respond. I saw CJ get sacked a couple times and guys is not rallying and picking him up, or he throw the pick. You don't see nobody talking to him. It's just like, man, y'all take doing your job too serious. Y'all forgot the team aspect. Like, y'all gotta, you know, it's a different rallying spirit than when I was there. And maybe that was just because we spent more time together because we were trying to get things done. We was trying to get some money together to get some pizza and stuff, like just little stuff like that. But that made us closer when it came to having our backs for the game. Like we just played more as a unit. We just don't play as a team when it comes to watching us play. I don't see any team or unit. I just see the players that we know that we expect to play. They make some plays, and then it doesn't inspire everybody else. It's just like you do your plays. Okay, that's Christian got the pick. But I mean, Leonard Moore got the pick. Great. But what happened after that? We got scored on every drive. We was getting bombed on every time after that. It was just, there was no bounce back from that. Christian Gray, you hurt your shoulder because you don't like the tackle. I mean, oh my goodness. The touchdown where Strowman missed the tackle. I mean, that's bad effort. Something that I'm surprised to see coming from a Marcus Freeman physical, Al Golden, we're downhill, we're smash hill, all of that. Only person I thought lived up to that was Drake Bowen.
I got to insert one piece of fact, and I hope I don't get in trouble. Okay? Christian's performance was elite until he got injured.
Yes.
Practice leading up to the Louisville game, and then couldn't go. And Leonard Moore
looks hurt,
right?
He looks hurt.
He played the rest of last year with that injury. Honestly, I don't think it ever got better.
No.
You see in the Miami game, and then again, anytime his left arm gets extended,
over with,
or he falls on it, he can't bump and run, bro. That's why wide receivers are running by him. He can't do anything with his left arm, right? So for me, so he went with his right shoulder because he can't go with his left shoulder.
He can't wrap. He can't wrap. He just tried to hit him out of bounds, but he can't.
He's trying to play like, dude, at the point you're hurting the team.
Bad.
I respect your willingness to play.
But it's hurting the team too bad.
It's hurting the team because you can't be you. Sit and get healthy. Just get healthy. Sit and get healthy. It's like, and let one of these youngsters play.
Figure it out. Because then when you're in and out, and then we throw in the freshman, and then the freshman get burnt because he's just like, what the?
It is what it is.
He's thrown in there.
It is what it is. It is what it is, bro. But anytime Miami, he fell on it, messed up. He literally just got bumped trying to break up a pass play in zone, and he's down.
And was down.
Bro. If it's that bad that you can't even use it to tackle or to extend, to bump and put hands on the receiver, you just letting guys run
and make plays in the air. That was the other problem. Everybody in the secondary is waiting for the guy to fall down with the ball. Like we're trying to catch him, make sure he lands. No high pointing because one, Christian's hurt, and Strowman. I'm saying
it's obvious. It's obvious. And this injury was he's dealing with through in fall camp. Like I said, I'm not trying to give some information to give context to everything.
No,
doesn't excuse he played awful Saturday night. Awful. Christian Gray, just awful. That's the worst game I've ever seen Christian play. Awful. Absolutely. Dropped the interception early in the game. Just awful. But to give context to it, I respect you because you don't have right now. Last year, you had a Leonard Moore as your third defensive back. I don't think they have a Leonard Moore waiting right now. You saw that as soon as Christian came out, Colin Klein went right at Mark Zachary.
And Mark Zachary, bless his heart, he just, and it just goes back to
that right there. And I promise you, I'm not trying to make excuses. I said it on the post-game show. Like, dude was bad. And he has not been himself because he can't be a physical. Go watch him against Texas A&M last year. You talking about tackling? Go.
I remember
2 big hits last year against Texas A&M. 2 big ones.
PFLs.
So it's like all of a sudden, what has happened? He's not healthy, bro. He's not. He's not. And if you can't use your arms in coverage, that's why he's always grabbing, because he can't.
You can't even
Concepcion, dude, they're on the 3-yard line backed up. He just let him run by him.
Yeah,
why?
Because
he couldn't touch him.
Want to hit him. No, he's actually hurt.
He couldn't touch him. Yo, don't go out there like that. I respect wanting to go play, but you can't do that.
That's not playing.
You can't do that. Especially when you got a dude on the other side of the field, whether his ankle is hurt or not, is locking down. When that side of the field is taken away. Teams don't have a choice but to come to your side.
And everything in the middle.
Yes. They don't have a choice. Because Leonard Moore is he locked up before his injury. He locked up after his injury.
But that goes back to the awareness of the staff to be like, if you're noticing this and we're at the comforts of our home, you can't tell me his coaches don't know it, the staff don't see it, because that's negligence on their part, because everybody knows that everybody wants to stick it out. But then it comes to a realistic point of, is sticking it out going to even benefit us? And right now it's not, because Christian Gray, for what we're looking like in the secondary, he needs to be healthy to be the leader to help these younger guys and just the continuity of the secondary to be better. Just because we love what he brings, he can't bring it. So that becomes a liability. And to add to what the safeties are doing right now, I don't know what happened in that safety room between missing tackles. They running around like chickens with the head cut off. I've never just seen so much over communication and then still get ran past and missed tackles and put us in tough positions, because it's a disconnect. Either guys aren't understanding, the changes in which we made defensively, because I'm still trying to figure out our identity defensively between, are we a zone team now? Are we some man, some zone, half man? The zone concept thing that we've in place, especially with this Tampa 2 thing where we're just playing so open and guys aren't playing the man, they're playing spaces. So you're just getting, it's really weird, because I get if we're playing zone and we're zone dropping, at least have the presence of mind to slow guys down so they're not full speed on our safety. We're not doing that. So whenever and it's like I'm watching pre-snap, I'm like, okay, you're 7 yards off, the safety's even further, and the 2 guys can just run a slant and run forever. Like, it's not even and that's exactly what they did. Texas A&M was like, wait a minute, they just gonna give us that slant? He runs 35 yards across the field, nobody's even close. I'm tired of seeing Carson Hobbs. He's just not ready. I just don't think he's ready, or he's not. Between him, watching him chase everybody, him and Stroman should work for the police, ND security. They just want to chase people all day. That's a great job for them, because I don't see any presence of mind. It's like, oh, you're just late to things. We're not making play on the ball in the air. Like, there was many times where we were there, but we didn't have the presence of mind of, we just letting people just jump up and catch it. And Leonard Moore was the only one that didn't do that. And when he did, he got a pick. When he actually played the ball in the air, he got a pick. Like, Leonard Moore did exactly what we should have been doing in a lot of those situations. But I don't know if guys aren't communicating or comfortable, or they just look lost. They just look lost. Third down, you give up a 3rd down and 12 a run, and you give up a 3rd and 12 on a clear zone, and he sits in a hole, but you're like, corner, where are you even dropping to? There's nobody outside of you, or you see him right there, and you're just so far. Like, so I don't think we're understanding the nuances in which we've done with Chris Ash, or because this is, as much as Chris Ash said he's not changing anything, we're definitely not the same. I've never seen so much inconvenient zone calls. And the zones that we're running are basic stuff. Either we're dropping too deep and then everybody else underneath is open, like Miami, or we're in no man's land. We're not deep enough, and then we're and it's like, where is everybody at? Like, what's you're covering space but no people. So that takes away. And then when we play man, we get no pressure. There's no middle of the pocket pressure. So Marcel Reed, I didn't know if that was him, Johnny Manziel, Tom Brady, any great list of quarterbacks you can name. Any quarterback in a setting where you're not getting any middle pressure, you got all the time in the world. It didn't matter if it was play action pass. It didn't matter if it was a standard slant. It didn't matter if it was a regular bit down. The only time we got close and still didn't hit home was when we pressured, which left us vulnerable, which gave up big plays because even the pressures wasn't getting home. I'm like, how are we rushing 6 and it's a stalemate on TV? Like, I don't see anybody breaking the line of the offense. So even in pressure, Marcel Reed was comfortable. So that falls on Al Washington. Because if we got to bring more than 4 just to create pressure, what is the talent looking like? What is the move? All I see is a bunch of RD linemen on the ground or losing one-on-ones or getting washed out the way, getting pushed to the linebackers. And these are specifically our nose tackles in our 3-tech. The ends, Boubacar Traore, Jordan Bateau, where you at? I don't know if we were looking small, but in times in which we needed to make plays, there was no presence. The things we were most concerned about with Texas A&M was the receivers and the receiver speed. We literally let them race us to the finish line. Like, Mario Cravens is not no underrated, nobody knew who it was. He broke on the scene against. No, the man had almost 900 yards in the first 2 weeks. And we gave him an 86-yard touchdown, a 40-yard catch, a 60-something yard bomb. What? It's no secret. So if anything, your red alert, I'm more on that. Nowhere to be found, no identity to it. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. 3rd and 12, you giving up a run. And the run, I don't even think they called the run thinking it would get that far. They just called a basic inside run. Where's Boubacar going? You get washed all the way down. Where's the spill?
No, that was Bryce. That was Bryce.
Bryce. Okay, that was Bryce.
That was Bryce.
Just out of position. I feel like when we get close to the red zone, our D-line's never set. We're always moving and shifting. And wait a minute, just get set. Get set. I'm tired of seeing the safeties running around, and it looks out of joint. Now, let's talk a little bit about offense. Denbrock, to me, is like Drake in the music. All the things that the fans talk about, what's wrong, and Drake's not this, Drake's not that, he'll put it in the music and be like, I'll address it there. That's what Denbrock does, in my opinion. Oh, Jadarian and Jeremiah Love need to get the ball. What is he doing? CJ got too many carries. He needs to look different. In my opinion, Denbrock's like, I'm going to just schoolyard simple, or I'm going to give you what you want so you can shut up. What I mean by that is, so we go 4th down, 3rd and short. Let's kick CJ all the way out, lose an extra blocker, and just direct snap it to him. Not have like a game plan where we're like, okay, we're going to design this certain run, boom, for Jeremiah Love, boom, boom. No, it's like, okay, y'all talking all that. We just going to snap it to him. Now what? Now what? We just go. And you know he is because we did it every 3rd and short. It wasn't like it was like our tush push that game or something. Like, oh, y'all calling for Jeremiah Love here. I think we actually have a run game designed better when Jadarian Price is in the game. Whenever Jadarian Price is in the game, all these runs that we're trying to, it's just he's hitting them. And it's giving a spark to the team every time. Every time Texas A&M it did last year, Texas A&M game it did this year, it got Jeremiah Love going. It's almost like we know Jeremiah Love is our best player, so we give him the ball for a quota. Not he's our offense. Like Riley was the offense. It was synonymous to our calls, to our situations. When in doubt, 13 get the ball. With Jeremiah Love being our best player, it's because he's so good, he's got to touch it 25 times. Not he's our offense. Let's design it where he's winning. Wildcat with Jeremiah Love is not designing a winning strategy, in my opinion. That's him saying, Denbrock saying, all you fans shut up. I'm giving them the ball, and we just going to direct snap it. We ain't going to hand it. We ain't going to do nothing else. Y'all complain about them RPOs, so we going to say, forget the RPO. I'm going to just hand it straight to him. That's my comparison, But even with doing that, after the first time, guess what? Nobody's going to respect CJ sitting out there. So what happens? You lose a guy to block the obvious guy on the – he's not going to throw it. So that's why I'm like, oh, that's not I'm using Jeremiah Love in the offense. That's more of like I'm silencing these haters saying I ain't giving them the ball, which we saw it versus Army. We saw it versus Penn State. Oh, we ain't running enough. Coming out to have 5 times up the middle. Now what? Now y'all can stop talking about I'm not doing this. That's how I feel like he's calling plays sometimes, which, like I said, we scored 40 points and a lot of mistakes. I do like CJ. When in doubt, he's got his guy, MALIK Fields. I can appreciate that about CJ. He said, look, 3rd, 4th down, don't matter. He running the go route, it's one-on-one. He has the ability to complete that consistently, which I think is his best skill above anything else, and we can use that to win. That's what I am very happy with CJ with. Obviously, throwing the running backs is the most frustrating thing. Because when the ball becomes above the shoulders, they get like, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, you tip it so bad. It's like, all right. It wasn't a great pass, but it was definitely catchable. But with your hand, even the slow-mo, the hand's just like bricks. As soon as it got above the shoulder, it's just bricks. It's just, he don't even close his fingers. It's like, oh my God. Like, now, CJ, obviously, that's a rookie mistake that's going to happen. We calculated that into each game that he might have a mistake or two. I can't say that. I mean, now, we know he has some turnovers sometimes because he likes to be more ambitious. So you got to factor that in. And it came inconveniently. But overall, I like where he's at in this game.
CJ we might have to raise his number to 240.
Yeah,
he's getting over 220 way too easy. Like that. Okay, CJ. Okay, CJ. We might have to
because he gonna get his chunk plays to Malachi. That's just his dude. He's Malachi. That's fine. But what we lose is that identity of a run game. And I think a lot of that happened because we had to be so Riley dependent because he was so lacking of what Denbrock was probably thinking going in. That it changed our identity when he left. Because now, as all these great running backs that we have, Riley Leonard had 180 carries last year. So we were like, yeah, that'll filter out through the running backs. But when your quarterback isn't a design running back, which in the game, he's getting most of the production because of the carries, you got to flip your brain. Your run game strategy has to be different. And it hasn't changed since last year. It just happened. And that's a problem because why are we not adjusting to what we are clearly different than last year? I wouldn't say we're calling the same plays as last year, but the mentality is still there. When it's short, run with your quarterback, run up the middle with your running back. I mean, we don't have the same personnel like that, so teams are not respecting CJ in a short yardage situation. And we're not even calling reads. It's like we're in pistol. What read? As soon as they turn his back, everybody's flying to the running back because he's no threat. So in pistol with me, Brandon Wimbush, even Deshaun, shit, that turns into a read. So teams think differently. That 3rd and 1 that's easy with me and GB or me and Tarian or me and Josh Adams, that 3rd and 1 is automatic because I'm a potential threat. CJ is no potential threat. So we turn our back. Now, all these are just tough yards to get. And it becomes hit or miss because sometimes, like in the game, we'll get it easy. Sometimes in 4th and 1, when we need a drive, those same plays don't work, So it limits us because I think we don't have the true run game identity for what the talent we have, and it's just a little off. The passing game, I think it just is it effective enough, or I just can't. I don't see us using it as we did a double flea flicker pass to get all the way down the field, and I don't think that's our natural play call. It felt a little desperate to be so early called in the game where we could have did what we wanted to. So I still Bleav it takes offense to obviously win some of these games. Tyler Buckner, Goldman Sachs. Listen, got it. I thought he could have had the fire though. I thought that the dude did his job. He ran out. I thought he could have dumped it, but it was just so helter-skelter. I don't think he was, he was just trying to make a play, but I cannot lie. I was Tyler Buckner in that situation before, so I can't even be hard on him. Northwestern, Trevor Simeon tore our ass up. I dropped the early one, so it wasn't at the same time he dropped it, but I dropped the early one. But it happens. The response, though, I just think that last drive encapsulated the identity that we're struggling with right now. It's the last drive of the game. You're at home. You have everything on your side. And that whole drive was just like, we didn't even know what situation we was in. We were just watching it happen. Like it was practice or going through the motions or whatever. It was nothing of like, we're trying to end this game and go home. It was like, oh, okay, we're just going to play this out and see how it goes. Even the calls, I'm like, why are we so passive on it? Like, this is odd. So I think a lot of that falls on Marcus Freeman because you look at Marcus Freeman on the sideline and he's just like I don't like where's the energy? That was always my point, that when we get in these moments, Marcus Freeman can't tackle nobody. Marcus Freeman can't run no touchdown, can't catch no touchdown, can't throw no touchdown. And if he's the only thing that can spark the team, it's going to look like that all season. Because he cannot save you, football team. He can protect you. He can give you excuses. He can motivate you. But when he cannot close the game out. And that goes to what I was saying. Who's our closers? Who's our X factors? Who's our Xavier Watts? Now, that's a tall order because, hey, shout out to Xavier, got a pick last night. Hey, they say he's going to be all pro. I'm like, I know. He got robbed in the draft. I said that was the real story, not Shadir. But I do Bleav that you could add Kenny in there. If this is what we're going to do offensively, especially after a bye week, I think this is why it's one of Marcus Freeman's worst losses, because of the expectation coming off of a bye week that was coming after a loss. That was expectations is why it's the worst loss. Vegas said we was going undefeated. We went in there and it's just like, I think it ties into just the entitlement we have. It's just an entitlement feeling when you're in that locker room. Guys are just like, it's just another game. There's no presence of consequence in the program. We ain't cut nobody. Only thing that happens is you just getting paid. And if you lose, so what? You go back to your steak and lobster, your nice cars, your investment properties. It's like for an 18-year-old, it's different than, your professional athletes that's got a schedule difference. So, I do think that there's a lot of questions because the Will Pauling story. Oh, I had to bring this up. So I did confirm that they really do love Will over there. I think he came in, they said he was a good grad. They said he played table tennis with everybody on the team. he was talking to everybody. I mean, so he is definitely a good inspiration for those guys and everything. So I did confirm that, and he's a good dude. I got a chance to talk to him. It was pretty cool, but that was a side note to all this game stuff. But there's definitely a disconnect between what we would think are the leaders on our team from the emotional side to how we play. Like when Riley, even in Riley's worst moments, the team still responded in a way, whether that was rallying around him or playing good in spite of, or even vouching for him after the game. It was just something that Riley held through that, good or bad. We don't have that offensively. We don't. And it should be Jeremiah Love, but it's like that's just a production factor for us. It's not like he's influencing everybody to play better in a way. Because I honestly think when Jadarian Price gets in the game, it's the team just moves better. If that makes sense. I'm not saying he's having better plays or making more exciting, but I mean it's just his whenever he gets in, the offense sparks and we get a roll going. Is what I'm saying. We'll just start rolling. I just don't like the response that the team gives. Like that 4th and 1 when Jeremiah Love didn't get it, nobody went over there to pick him up.
Well, see, that was on Jeremiah. I'm gonna keep it a buck because if you go back and watch the play, if he stays right behind Gerby Lambert, he's gonna get the first down.
Gerby Lambert, let's get on your horse now.
Yeah, he was
so golly, like you didn't touch anybody pulling from the guard spot. That tells you a lot. Now he ran too wide and he wasn't patient and all that, but you didn't touch a soul neither. You looked like you was in some molasses. But
I will say this: J Love wants to win bad.
I agree. No,
he wants to win really bad. You can tell he's really upset.
He's ripped. That's what I'm saying. He's got really that Tyreek Hill upset. Like he's like, dog, y'all not playing like I want y'all to play. But that's what I'm saying is the disconnect. I'm like, we're not meeting the expectation that he's. Remember when he talks about even last year, the expectation. He's like, there's something that's different in the room that exists on the team. And I think the room still upholds that. And when they go out, I mean, Jadarian had 2, Jeremiah Love had 2. Like, guys was productive. Big plays, you know what I'm saying? And I think that when the team doesn't respond that way, and we get a little stupid pick here, or we don't block nobody, and it's like, what are we doing? Or we can't convert easy stuff. That expectation is bigger than the team's expectation. That's why I think Jeremiah Love gets frustrated. He's like, man, our standard is y'all not living to even the running back standard. Offensive line, there was a lot of opportunities. Offensive line, I'm like, that's just bad play.
I'm going to say this. Go back and watch the game. This is why every play matters. Because you talk about that 4th down. Since you opened the door, I'm going to go ahead and walk in and discuss it. Yes, we can discuss Gerby Lambert on that 4th down. We can discuss Jeremiah Love on that 4th down. I want you to go back to the 3rd down play. Everybody go back to that third down play where Jeremiah Love went to the outside. The guy that tackled him should have been blocked. I'm just
Oh,
gonna leave it at that.
you talking
I'm
about the
just
guy
gonna
that was over CJ? Come on, that whole kick CJ out as a
no. That's not the play I'm talking about. The third down before the fourth down. If a block is made on the perimeter that was set up, the play was set up to work. Literally, if the block is made, Jeremiah is gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's gone. It's a touchdown. If not a touchdown, they're inside. That's points.
That's points.
That's points, and Notre Dame goes up 2 possessions. That's points. And that right there, those are the things that good football teams do.
Yes.
Don't miss that block. That's not Denbrock making a bad call.
No,
that is focus. That is whether you're getting a pass or whether you're a blocker. As a receiver, you are giving 100% because you know if I do my job, that dude we got in the backfield is gone.
That's why I said the disconnect.
That's the disconnect.
That's why I said the disconnect. Because if I'm blocking for Jeremiah Love, I'm like, oh, this is sweet. He finna go crazy. I just gotta. It's like they just like, oh, I just missed it because I missed my job. They not connecting. Like, no, this is like what our identity is. This is bigger than you just not missing the block. This is like, no, this is the touchdown play because we got him running the ball. You know, it's not. Like when Josh Adams was running that 33 trucking, everybody was behind it. Everybody was behind it. So all them long runs, they didn't miss them blocks. The 33 was going to be trucking. I mean, so we've been there before when we've supported and been a good team in those moments. It ain't like when Kyron did a little bit more, but when it was a Kyron show, and when Kyron was helping us, the team was blocking. Now I'm not saying they're not blocking for Jeremiah Love. I'm just saying in moments there's not a realization that this is the play that can take us over the top if we believe in who we got running the ball. I mean, that's just what it is. But still, going back to what makes a good team, we missed all of those moments. That's what I'm saying. Those small things like that where you're like, it goes back to even Miami. The last 2 plays of the game, you don't lose those last 2 plays like that if you're a good team. Where you just blow the tag, you just blow the block, get beat off the line, just bad football like that doesn't exist in moments like that for good teams. That's why everybody was up going crazy about the Alabama-Florida State game. Because Alabama looked terrible in moments that they usually look great in. And like you said, it isn't a play call thing necessarily. It's just the lack of, I think, urgency. I think lack of unity on the team. Like, it doesn't feel like they blocking for their brothers. It's like, no, I'm blocking because I'm getting paid. I'm in the place to be. I'm getting well fed. I just got to do my job long enough that I ain't got no threat or nothing. I mean, there's no threat on the football team. You ain't going to get cut. You ain't going to get traded. You ain't going to lose your money. Because the school paying you, and that's separate than the stuff you're getting outside of that. So you're not taking no L's even if you lose on the field. So it's just too comfortable. You know, it's just too comfortable. If we can pop that level of comfortability and give us that edge back, we don't have an edge. So when you're getting down with the nitty gritty, we don't activate and light up. We stay the same the entire time. That was the problem. There wasn't at any point in that game where I felt like we were like, all right, let's take off. It was like, all right, we got to score because they just scored. Damn, we got to score again because they just scored. Damn, they keep scoring. Okay, we got to score one more time. It wasn't like, we're going to take off on this team, shut them down, and then get out of here. It was never that energy on the field. And that's why I say the last 2 drives of our last 2 games encapsulates what we're saying. Lackluster. It's like, shoot, I don't care if we win or lose as a team. Individually, because I'm saying, and why it's different is because last year, guys like Aeneas Williams was making impactful plays because everybody was in on it. It's like we got more limited with more talent. How'd that happen? We look like the team with what's his name? Kevin, the receiver. What's his name? Kevin Austin. That year when we had Kevin Austin and Kyron, and that was it. I haven't seen Jaden Grayhouse in about 2 games. I haven't seen a bunch of Will Paul. I didn't even see Faison. We love Faison. Did he get hurt? Did he have a catch?
I don't know if he had a catch, but I need to figure out why he has 30 more plays than Jaden Greathouse on the day. I answer that. Somebody ask Marcus Freeman that question for me. When did he become the better option than Jaden Greathouse?
When? So it's like all these receivers, and all I see is Malachi Fields, and maybe that's CJ's most comfortable guy. But if we got a passing offense, we supposed to see a little bit more variety. Because I see CJ back there reading now. You know, he missed some things, but he back there like he looking. So it ain't like he just dropping back and taking off. That's why I'm like, CJ's in a good spot, man. He's not necessarily the problem, but he ain't figured out how to like take over a game yet. So he's learning, but we could help it. You know, 40 points at home, I can't complain too much, but I don't think we played a B game offensively and scored 40 points. That's what I'm saying. We played a B game offensively and scored 40 points. So I can't sit there and act like it's the end of the world. No, we scored 40 points at home. However, in those moments where good teams don't make those mistakes, we made a lot of them. And so it's just frustrating because you end up thinking, well, where do you go? And what is the actual issue? You look at the stat sheet, man, we had 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. Oh, awesome. But then you lose in games. I know defense needs to be addressed. And we talked about that before the season started, specifically Al Washington. Come to the podium. Gino Gaduli, you're doing a good job. We ain't gonna get on you just yet. You've been productive, and it looks different. So I can say
that cat Gino popping his collar, boy. Like,
hey, don't look this way. Hey, we doing our job. For sure. So all that quarterback competition, you still good on that. You made a good choice. Al Washington. We had 22 interior D linemen in the spring. Yeah.
No, 22 total D linemen. 22 total D linemen.
Your healthy guys came back healthier off of injury. So you're getting a full gambit, a full roster of talent. Are you telling me that you can't activate that or find a formula within that D-line room to be productive at least a little bit? Al Washington, you done got all the transfers you asked for. You done got the guys back, the guys that played, they coming back in shape. You got Onyé on board. But where's the production? It's embarrassing what our 3-tech and our nose guard are looking like. It's embarrassing. I'm sick of seeing 41, 97, 93 sitting in Drake Bowen's lap, getting in the way of KVA, losing one-on-ones. Yeah, you may have gotten tackled on the last play. Maybe they missed the call. But where were you all night? What does it take? Are we too small? I thought we looked a little small in the front four compared to Texas A&M O-line. I thought we looked a little light in the pockets. I just didn't see a very strong stand against their offensive line. I didn't see us challenge them enough. Marshall Reed was back. I mean, we probably got him drafted. we definitely shot Marshall Reed's stock all the way up. We did it for Tyler Shuck. Did it for Trevor Siemian. I mean, you know how we like to give quarterbacks their best day ever. We did it for DJ Unonga-Galay. I mean, come on. We familiar with doing that. But urgency needs to be addressed. The energy and effort needs to be addressed. I'm still sticking on this leadership thing. There are no leaders, true leaders. I think Drake Bowen did a great job. Like, Drake Bowen was hit sticking, making some plays. But even Drake Bowen, you just cannot lose that last play for who he is. That's Captain America. Captain America can't lose to Ultron at the end. You gotta win. It just so happened you was just in that. But even that, good teams don't lose that moment. Am I surprised that Drake lost that? A little bit, because he was playing well. I wish it was anybody else. Jalen's, I didn't like that it was him, because I thought that he gave the best effort defensively all night. I just hated it had to be Drake. But it's too many times where I'm watching the defense and I'm like, why are they not lining up fast enough? I just see a bunch of hand movements. They moving around right before the snap. They not set, really. It's like, dude, there is goal line. Where are you going? Like, put your hand in the dirt. You shifting and, dude, it's on the one, bro. They're not. And then when you're doing all that, it just makes me nervous. Then you get washed down. They just walking in. So it's like, what? It just hurts. Now, did see KBA make some plays, But even with all of that, we made some plays, and then we made some really soft plays where I'm like, oh, that's bad football. It was not like we missed our job and it was like, okay, 2-3 yards more. It was like, we'll make a play and then we'll give up some stuff where you're like, dude, that's just bad. That's just bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. So Chris Ash can't be our hope, because you got to go back and think of all the things Chris Ash was saying. Oh, I'm just sit back, take notes, be in the background, not bother nobody, not change nothing. We got the best team ever. Okay, then it's no different than when our good old offensive coordinator by committee, Jerry Parker, not going to change nothing. I'm going to sit back. We're just going to talk about this as a team, like da-da-da-da. And what I always say, well, somebody got to make the call. Somebody got to do something there. If you sitting back and you the DC, we need somebody to be doing and saying and whatever. Because nobody's showing up. So I can't put it all on Chris Ash, but I told everybody, Al Golden leaving is going to have an effect, man. Yeah, we got a lot of the same players and we might run the same calls, but Al Golden put some time in. Like, that matters. So, yes, it's Chris Ash is on the hot seat and all that, I guess, but we knew that. I told you that. Offense needs to be shining more, and that's why I'm like, what's wrong with the Jeremiah Love connection? Why are we acting as if we just have to give him the ball, but we're not designing the ball for him to get? Why is CJ – it's just not enough. It's like, he compliments us in good ways, but he can't run, and he must have heard us talking about so bad about him having that many attempts that he didn't have none. Yeah, I think he had one attempt.
No, I take that back. He pulled the ball one time
Okay.
and tried to get outside on Cassius Howe and found out real fast, like, no, let me go down and
Yeah.
just like he's not, which goes back to your point, Left. It makes no sense either. Look, they're about to play Arkansas in 2 weeks. Arkansas famously ran Wildcat with their 2 running backs in the backfield.
Yeah.
So it's like either you had Felix Jones giving the ball to
Darren McFadden.
What was the kid? Darren McFadden. And it's like, dude,
deal with it.
It's a death.
Yeah,
deal with it, right? Now everybody, so either put Jadarian and Jeremiah in the backfield together, or put a viable run threat in the backfield,
quarterback position,
to stop the backside.
Oh, killing us. The backside kills us every time. I'm like, oh my God, like there's no, either if it hits front side or we're going down behind the line of scrimmage. Because at first I thought, oh, we're not reading it or something. No. That's the design, because he's not running it. He's got to give it off. So it's like Denbrock's almost in this whole, I'm not saying CJ is not a good player, but fit to the offensive coordinator. I asked this a long time ago, is this the right, like, when has Denbrock had a quarterback like this, especially after coming off the success he's had? His success is tied to guys that are not CJ's skill set. That's just the truth. He even took Riley, who I think CJ is better than, and made it look really good because that's his style that's his play call style. That's just, 180 carries for your quarterback. Nobody's doing that unless that's the type of run game you are comfortable with. So I'm sure he probably feels super uncomfortable after watching how CJ had that many carries, and he probably didn't even realize, like, no, that's just how I run my run offense. I'm just so used to doing that he overcompensated by just doing direct snaps to the run. It looked like he's trying to find his identity and what he wants to do running the football. And after having a bye week, and that's what we come up with, it's like, can you get a rhythm like that? I don't want Denbrock to be uncomfortable all season because he just can't. Like, the things that were so easy for us to call and get a first down on, we're doing it with guys that aren't quite the same. So it's just, it becomes a liability for our team, because the defense is like, oh, they're not, we know we're getting it here. There ain't no trick them or nothing. We know what they're trying to do. So you lose a little bit, but man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Because it almost feels like we're throwing it as an outlet. And that's, like CJ's outlet is to throw the little go ball on the sideline to relieve some pressure. But we don't have like passing concepts where he's just slicing and dicing. And, it's like, okay, we need a CJ relief pass. All right, throw a go route and a cover 2-hole shot, or dump it down, or, throw this go route on one-on-one where they're 10-man in the box. But where's the pass game, if that makes sense? Texas A&M was running pass concepts. Marcel Reed dropping back, throwing long over routes and slants and all type of play action concepts. Our passing concepts are like, all right, we ran it good enough. They stacked the hell out of the box. All right, CJ, give us that one-on-one on the outside. Lighten it up a little bit. And then we'll go away from throwing. It was like, damn, like, okay, he hit a 40-yard pass. Can we follow it up with like a couple more passes? It's like, nope, go back to running. All right, CJ relief play. Dump it down, throw a screen, throw a go ball. If that's how we want to win, it just is like, that's like third grade football, man. It's like pee-wee football. It's just, I don't know.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Tap in. We're brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com and check out all of the action. Notre Dame, heavy favorite as they go up to West Lafayette to take on I Bleav the line is at 27.5 right now. I think that's where it started out. Go over to the FanDuel app, FanDuel.com. Notre Dame is still ranked 24th in the nation at 0-2. I was baffled by that. I thought for sure they were going to drop out of the top 25. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it. Take a little time right now. Just smash it for us. Then leave your comments and questions because we do indeed respond to all. Bleav Network, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Tap in for the audio side. And then patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. For just $5 a month, you get 5 shows over there. Players only podcast. This week is going to be Jerron Jones, MALIK ZAIRE, and our guy DC Derek Curry. Both of those defensive guys are hot. Like, they are heated. And they're going to have a lot to say. That's over at patreon.com. Behind Enemy Lines with myself, I interview the opposing media for each team each week to get background on those teams. And then we play audio from the opposing players and coaches and talk about that. That's exclusively over at Patreon. Then 4 for 40 with Reggie Brooks. 4 for 40 with Reggie Brooks. He talks about his view of the program and some other things surrounding college football. Episodes 1 and 2 are up. Episode 3 is going to be recorded on Wednesday and drop on Thursday. All right. And so those are just 3 of the shows that we have. And I'm sorry, Prep Star Recruiting Roundup. Prep Star Recruiting Roundup is also over there. Just a few of the shows that you get for $5 a month on a weekly basis, exclusively at patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Left, I think at this point in time, man, we should just go ahead and hear from the man himself. Let's hear from the man himself. Yeah, let's see what he's saying. Yeah, I have some other things I want to get off my chest, but I want to hear from Marcus Freeman. And he met with the media in the immediate aftermath, and he copped a lot of pleas, in my opinion, for the coaching staff. And some people felt like
I found Washington.
Yeah, some people felt like he threw the players under the bus a little bit. But for myself, I just think he's in a quandary right now, or he has a quandary right now. And honestly, he's trying to figure out what's the next step because he didn't expect to be here. That's the issue. He, in a million years, he never expected to be 0-2. Never expected. I think that's a bigger shock than losing to Northern Illinois right now for him. He was shocked that they lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
He's even more shocked that he's 0-2 right now at this point in the season.
Yep.
And he spoke with the media earlier today, and this is what he had to say to start his press conference. It's about 2 to 3 minutes, so just take a listen.
After the game on Saturday, and it's a lot of evaluation, a lot of, looking for answers for what led to the disappointing outcome that we had. And it's probably easy to sit here and tell you the things we did well or how hard our guys tried, but that doesn't matter, right? Is we gotta become a more consistent team, and that starts with being consistent individuals. Consistency, I Bleav, is what wins or loses games when you have 2 good opponents competing against each other. The only way to become more consistent is we have to refuse to tolerate habits and a performance that isn't to the standard that we've set for our program. So, it's always going to start with me and making sure that I have to always evaluate the things that, I tolerate as the head coach and what we all tolerate from each other in terms of our habits and the way we practice and the way we prepare and the way we go about things. We weren't consistent enough in all 3 phases. On offense, we got to be better and we got to be perfect in those short yardage situations. We got to score touchdowns in the red zone. And again, that goes back to being consistent, all right? And what we do, special teams, we got to make every rep count. Right? We can be good at dominant at 90% of the game, but that 10% that matters the most, we got to execute, right? And it goes back to being consistent in everything we do. And then defensively, what we can't do is let a bad play turn into an explosive play, right? And that's what you see on Saturday. What typically is sometimes a bad play were explosive plays. I think they had over 200 yards on 6 plays, which is a result of explosive plays that can't happen. And we've had to figure out why those explosive plays occurred, all right? And I can get up here and say it's execution, and it is. But, like, what does a lack of execution come down to? And it can be a lack of focus. It can be a lack of proper technique, a lack of understanding what's expected, a personnel issue where you're asking someone to do something that they can't do consistently. And so all those things are responsibility of us as coaches. It falls on us as coaches to make sure that our guys can execute what we're asking them to execute on a consistent basis. So we got to get back to work, focus on the things we control. Every year the journey's different, every season, and this is no different, right? And so my job is to make sure that this team is heading in the right direction, and the only way to ensure that is we got to continue to find the right answers and practice our plans in a way that ensures we improve and continuously be a more consistent team. So.
I mean, he hit a point where he says he's asking guys to do things they can't do, and it looks like some of the things I guess they're asking on the field, they're just not ready or good enough to do right now. We've named a couple, but that's not us picking on anybody. That's just what it is. When I say there's no threat, that's what I meant. There's no threat of losing your job. None. And that's what Marcus Freeman has to figure out. Yes, we love these guys, and we have to think a lot about them and the potential and all of that, but it's still football. If you can't do the job, you got to find somebody else. Unfortunately, at Notre Dame, these happen to have to be quick fixes. There's not a 4 to 5 game let you figure it out thing. The only reason Riley was allowed to do that, because 1, that's a quarterback. 2, he clearly just had more connection in the team that it just, bad or good, the team responded in a way to him. So that's different. The team's not responding to anything. They're not. A bad play, they just walk off, whatever, next play. A penalty, okay, what happened? Everybody looking like, was it me? No fire behind the mistake. So he is correct on that. Bad plays can't turn into worse. Can't blow an assignment, then blow a tackle that leads to a touchdown. Just can't happen. But if that happens, then you shouldn't be in the game the next couple. Stuff like that, right? Like, so it does fall on the coaches to identify the best players, put them in the best positions. But the players have to have some accountability on their end as well. Do I think he can figure it out? I think he is in a quandary, because I do think that, like, we always, for instance, an example, we always talked about the type of player CJ is. CJ is good with the people around him. Is he going to be the guy to lead the tide and bring us down from the 1 point? All of that, I don't think right now, because he's young, but that shouldn't be our go-to either with all the talent we have offensively. So I think the fit is still in question, but that's a coaching thing as well. When do we coach to the talent that we have? It feels like we're trying to half hang on to last year and figure out how do we fit last year into this year instead of coaching this year for this year. Marcus Freeman is only surprised, in my opinion, because he's still stuck in the past. It's like, wake up. Wake up. Rally the team in the second half. Where's the crazy coaching calls that we had last year in the playoffs? I mean, it just, I don't know. It goes back to people being too comfortable. There's not enough hunger and fight on the field. It just seems like we're going through the motion.
Left, I wrote down 3 things. I don't want to hear anything else about effort and trying, bro. Not from this head coach. No one cares. No one cares about effort and trying unless the effort is not being given. Effort and trying is expected.
Automatic.
It is the bare minimum. It is the expectation. And with good programs, there is no try. There is only do. That's what Yoda said. There is no try. There is only do.
Do.
And that's what good football teams, they do consistently. That's what they do. In every facet, every player on every play, they're doing. They're doing. So continuing to throw effort is an excuse. And if it's not an excuse, it's a distraction to keep the focus off of what's literally happening before our very eyes on the TV screen and on the film. I go back to that 3rd down play before the 4th down stop with Jeremiah and Wildcat. If one player does his job, it's a touchdown. I don't want to hear he tried. I don't want to hear about his effort where he just has to give a better effort. Skip that. Do it. And if you can't do it, go sit down. At this point, if you can't do it, go sit down. You don't deserve the snaps. It's as simple as that. So that's what's frustrating. And it's almost like he wanted to use it again, but he knew he had used that word or those words so much that maybe it wasn't going to hit or come across this time.
Yeah. He said, but nobody wants to hear it. Then don't say it.
Nobody wants to hear it. Don't say it. Of course, no one wants to hear it because it shouldn't be said.
Because it's not going to be accepted.
No.
That's why he tried to.
Shouldn't accept it.
Yeah.
Forget the media and forget the fans. You as the head coach, you shouldn't accept it. Which goes to my next point. We shouldn't be tolerated. You had to go through 2 games in the regular season when you had summer and spring to point out the things that you are not going to tolerate as a program. Now we have to recognize as coaches and staff the things that we're not going to tolerate. Left, what did you say is going on before the game in the locker room? What did you say? Instead of focus, guys talking about the game plan and making sure they're locked in. What's going on?
Guys all over the place, chilling, playing ping pong, watching Madden, eating meals, milling around, just, and I get it. You can't be focused all day, but there's a certain level of seriousness. I remember in high school on game day, ain't nobody talking, we ain't talking on the bus. We not chit-chatting and laughing and playing around in the training room or the locker room. It's game day. We in fact purposefully mean mugging each other. Walking around just mean, just looking crazy, not saying nothing. But it's just that's how you get locked in as a team. That bus ride quiet. We ain't laughing, playing. No, it's get to the locker room, let's go. And I think, it just goes to comfortability. I mean, it is really astounding when you walk in the Google, bro. I mean, golly, this from the nice pictures to all the different TVs and things you can snack on and eat and hang out and all the couches and things to do, and it's great. But maybe we shouldn't even come to campus on game day. We should just stay in the forest or something, like, because we come out like, I don't know, man. This is not fantasy camp. This is football, man.
So then he mentions the red zone. My brother in Christ, you put up 33 points. Yeah, it should have been another 8 points on the board. But you put up 33 points. I'll say it again. Your offense put up 33 points. I'm sorry, 34. Your offense put up 34 points. Then, let's keep it a buck. James Rendell was fantastic. His punt led to a touchdown, pinning Texas A&M inside the 5. You probably should have allowed him to do it again instead of going for it on 4th down. That's an entirely different conversation. Field goal kicker, pretty solid. Your game plan for Bussy was great until after you took the lead, and all of a sudden, for the first time all night, you want to kick it to him down the middle of the field. You got the penalty that took the touchdown off the board, but for some reason, special teams went haywire in the last 3 minutes of the game. If you want to point out special teams was stellar. Special teams got you on the board off the bat. What are we? Special teams is the last thing I'm worried about.
Definitely last.
I didn't like the fact that Tyler Buckner dropped the ball. But
that's
the last. Special teams is the last thing. I don't want to hear anybody talk.
Y'all don't remember
Marcus Freeman, I don't want to hear you talking about special teams.
Y'all don't remember missing kicks. Y'all don't remember missing kicks last year from right in front of the thing. We not missing kicks. We did a great job, special teams.
Special teams? Man, stop that. I don't want to hear about special teams. Yes, he can't drop the placeholder.
But that's what good team. That's the point too. Good teams don't do that. Not
good
special
teams don't do that. See, it's the bigger issue. That doesn't happen to good teams.
Yes. Not special teams being the issue. That
doesn't happen to good teams.
Right.
I get it. I don't want to hear about special teams in your presser. I don't. You don't have to cover that. There was no need to cover that. None. Because special teams, we got to be better at special teams. Doing what? Holding on to the ball? Yeah. It happens. Special teams was stellar, except for that one play. Very important play. But that's not why you lost.
No, it became important.
It became important
because of how we
all the other
deficiencies.
Yeah, absolutely. All the other deficiencies made that important.
Yes, absolutely. That just was like the lasting memory of the cherry on top of all the dysfunction. Because think about it, we went up. We didn't have to let them score after that.
No, we didn't.
We didn't have to let them go 80 yards.
Texas A&M tried to give you the game with multiple penalties. They tried to give the game to Notre Dame. False starts, holding. They wanted to give the game to Notre Dame.
Drop picks in the end zone.
It's crazy. We're talking about special teams. I don't want to hear about special teams in your presser, man. I'm sorry. I just don't. And I'm trying to be respectful today. I don't want to hear about that. Talk to me about these coaches. Talk to me about this development. Don't give me fluff of effort. Try hard. Don't give me that fluff. Don't give me fluff about the calls are right if we execute. Because basically, the triangle offense is a great offensive system, especially if you have versatile and smart players in basketball. You know why the triangle offense was successful, Lev? When it was successful? Because two of the best players to ever play or 4 of the best players to ever played in the offense. I don't care what system you have. The players have to be coached well in it, and they have to be great players. So now you make me question, if you're going to sit up here and say it's not the play calls, then you're basically saying there's something wrong with your players. Either they're not smart enough to execute the system, or they're not good enough to execute the system. It's one or the other. What's being said? What's being said? We have a problem with execution. What's the problem? On the player side, are they good enough? Or are they not good enough? Are they smart enough? Or are they not smart enough? And if they're not smart enough, then you need to put something in that they can grasp. That's on you and the coaching staff. Now we're talking about Notre Dame. So I know the players are smart enough. I don't want to hear that.
No, we heard that.
This is Notre Dame. The players are smart enough. So for me, that eliminates that. So are you trying to say that the players aren't good enough? Because then you went on to say we're asking players to do things that they're not capable of doing consistently. Okay, so now that just affirms what I just said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not wise to keep asking people to do things that they can't do. You didn't figure out after week 1 that certain players couldn't do things consistently. You didn't see it in fall camp that certain players couldn't do certain things consistently. What are we doing as a staff to evaluate this team, to know this team, to know our individual players in our position rooms? I'm confused. Wait a minute, love. Let me finish. They mentioned the red zone. I have one problem with red zone. One problem. And I'm not blaming CJ. Because Joe Rudolph, you're not off the hook this week, my brother. No. Your tackles were much better in pass pro. Much better. Much better in pass pro. But that offensive line gets no push. No consistent push. How many times have defensive linemen just blown through missed assignments?
Blown
through.
Missed blocks.
How many times has Jeremiah Love having to avoid a defensive lineman in the backfield? How many times in 2 games?
Before getting to the line.
If I'm not mistaken, Texas A&M had 11 tackles for loss. 11. 11. 11. I believe Notre Dame had 1 pressure from the front 4, and it came on the last defensive play, left.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's why everybody remember it.
What? Texas A&M had 11 tackles for loss. 11. Joe Rudolph, you're not, no. Just because the sacks weren't there like they were against Miami, you're not off the hook. Just 3 yards per carry in the run game? No, sir. No. No. That goes to the red zone. CJ, when you have a dude, and CJ knows this, on 3rd downs, when you have a dude like MALIK Fields, you have to give him a chance. You can't throw the ball out of bounds.
Can't do it.
You got just give him a chance. Just throw it up. Just throw it up. Just give him a chance. Don't be scared. Throw it up. Keep it in bounds. Give him a chance. It happened twice. You can't do that. Can't do that. Give him a chance. That's literally my only critique. I'm not CJ from a decision making. The interception was all about decision making. That's just CJ understanding I can't throw to the running back like that. I just run it. Let me go get these 5, get back to the huddle. That's just
CJ didn't want to run it. That's why
he didn't want to run it, but that's what he should have done.
Yeah, he saw the run and was like, let me jump it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, yo, CJ, I'm good. I'm good. I understand. Cool with that. I'm just focusing on Marcus Freeman. Red zone, that's, what are we talking about? That's, dude. The problem is the trenches. The trenches. And I have to ask the real question, Left. I'll step out on this limb. I don't mind. Because as of right now, there's only two options in the trenches. You ready, Left? And I'll let you go. And then I'll let the chat do what they have to do. Either the players aren't good enough or the coaches aren't good enough in the trenches. That's it. That's my conclusion right now. That's it. It's an easy fix. It's an easy fix. Either get better players in the trenches or find better coaching or, require better coaching in the trenches. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. It's as simple as that. Don't fluff me. Don't try to distract me over here. I'm not falling for it. Not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Either the coaches aren't good enough right now, or you don't have the horses in the trenches. Plain and simple. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And I don't know who this D Dangler dude is in the chat. Sir, you can just move on, man. Either you want to talk about the team, because we don't do personal attacks on here. Either you can talk about the team or you can dismiss yourself. It's as simple as that. I'm great at what I do. You can go ask all of my members. I'm a great pastor. Great. I've been a great youth pastor for 30 years before I became the head pastor. I'm a great husband. You can ask my wife and my daughter. I'm great at everything that I do. Maybe you should analyze your life, because I have witnesses to back up what I do in life. Now, look in this chat. Not the coaches are doing what they're supposed to do. Because I got witness for my life. Look in the chat. Those are the witnesses to what we're. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's talk about it. The coaches, the players, everybody in the chat, what they're saying, they're witnesses to what we're watching. So while you're trying to be petty and once again create distraction, we're not distracted. It comes down to what we're seeing. Either the players aren't good enough or the coaches aren't good enough. Period. Period. Because if they were great, the players would speak for them. The production of the players would speak to how great the coaches are if they were being great and doing a great job. That's the way life works. Great people don't have to toot their own horns. A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. And right now, the offensive line coach and the defensive line coach are known by the fruit of the first two games that we've watched this year. So I'm glad you actually said that. You threw me the alley-oop to further my point about what's being said. It's crazy. It's crazy. You tried it, though. Look. Lucky Lefty podcast. Marcus Freeman talked about tolerating certain things. He went further into it. This is what he said. Take a listen. Take a listen.
Back to, why, if you look at some of the explosive plays defensively, as I just mentioned, you got to look at yourself and say, okay, you could say this guy didn't have his eyes where they needed to be. Well, you can say it's the player's fault, or you can say, okay, is there times in practice that maybe your player didn't have his eyes in the right spot and the outcome might have been different, but we tolerated it, right? If a guy had a mental error on a play, he went the wrong way, you could make yourself feel better and say, well, that's his fault. We did it right one time in practice. Where you can say, did we do it enough till we couldn't get it wrong? And that's what I really am talking about when I say tolerating different things. Hey, if a guy gets beat deep on a big play pass, if he's not playing with the proper technique, did we stress him enough with speed in practice so that he understands the velocity that you have to be able to play with the proper technique? And so those are the things that when I say we have to self-evaluate what we tolerate in practice and what we tolerate as a program, those are the examples that I'm talking about.
Whew. As we get ready to let you guys go, this is why you have spring and summer. It's why you have spring and summer practices, to figure out what you're not going to tolerate and what you will tolerate. You're upset. I get it. You're in a situation that you didn't expect to be in. I get it. But I'll remind you that you got this job via the support of the players in that locker room. And I can't tell you how to do your job, and I would never tell you how to do your job. But the way you got them is the way you keep them. In the famous words of my grandfather. The way you got them is the way you keep them. You better service those young men that got you in this position. You better service the young men of this program. Regardless of what's going on, everything that you do, especially through these coaches, should be to the benefit of the young men in that locker room. Find a way to highlight the best parts of them. Find a way to figure out how to position them. Find a way to protect those that physically aren't able to do what you may be asking them to do. They're the important pieces of this program, on and off the field. And everything you and the coaches do should be to the betterment of them as young men and them as football players. This is when you find out. This is when you coach. This is when you find out. This is when they see how much you believe in them and how much you believe in your vision. This is when, because belief is very easy when it's untested. This is when belief becomes tested. Moments like this. And those young men are looking to you as their head coach. They're looking to you as their general in this moment. It's some tough decisions you might have to make. It's some tough adjustments you might have to make. But you got to make them. You have to make them because it cannot be status quo. It cannot be. We just have to try harder. We just have to practice harder. Because you said last week we needed the practices. Last week, when you met with the media, you said we needed the extra practices to become better. Do you actually believe that you become better? Do you actually believe that what was put forth on that field on Saturday night showed that your team got better? Because you said you needed the practices to do that. Now this week, you're talking about tolerating bad habits. This is the thing, Notre Dame fans. He said that last year at a press conference. So we're still talking about a staff tolerating bad habits. Something's wrong. As the head coach, why are you tolerating bad coaching? Because if the players have bad habits, it's a direct result of bad coaching. It literally is 1 + 1 = 2. And the fact that this is coming up again, talking about what's being tolerated in practices, we heard that after the Northern Illinois loss. We heard that in the immediate aftermath. That's the same thing we heard. Maybe you went and pulled that because you thought it would lead to the same type of win streak that started with Purdue last year. So you're just reading. Are you reading from the same script? Or is it really something that you have figured out? I'm confused. Because this is not it. This is not it. See, ladies and gentlemen, I download everything. So as soon as I heard that script, I said, we heard this after Northern Illinois. But it was the offensive side of the ball that was being asked about. And now the heavy questions are for the defense, but it's the exact same script and exact same answer. But you haven't solved the issue of your coaching staff allowing bad habits and not stopping bad habits and coaching them away, which means you have allowed it as the head coach. You've allowed it. You've allowed it. So the script is no longer a distraction. The script is now unveiling and giving us a peek behind the curtain to say, wait a minute. There has to be something here. Because we keep hearing the same thing. And it's not like it's coming from the same area. Now you're using the same script for this area over here. So is this just your go-to when things don't go right? Or is it actually part of the operation to correct certain things? The bigger question is, coaching bad habits is not something that you have to watch games to see. You see the fundamentals every day in practice. Every day. Coaching zone. No, I've yet to see a Notre Dame football player, specifically a cornerback, break aggressively on the ball being in the air in zone. I've yet to see it. Yet to see it. Very passive. Very passive in zone. Those habits just showed up. They were perfect. All fall camp, playing zone. And all of a sudden, the zone defense is struggling. I don't know. But I want to encourage Coach Freeman, man. These kids are going to get you out. These kids can pull this program out of this this hole that they're in. But you got to lead them. And you got to lead them in truth, man. You have to give them the truth about who they are, what they can do, what they can't do. You have to lead them. And allow your coaches to assist you in doing that. Because they need you. Your players need you. Because they got you this spot. They got you this job. When a lot of people said you weren't worth it and you weren't worthy, the Notre Dame players stood up for you. And now more than ever, they need you to stand up for them. Stand up for them. And hopefully, the words you shared today was just a piece of you, or just the tip of the iceberg of you doing that very thing moving forward in the rest of this season. Fight for them. Fight for what they can do. And get rid of the things that others might try to bring in that you know is not the best thing for them. Fight for them. Fight for them. Listen to them. They'll get you out of this. Because my belief is that the players are good enough. That's my personal belief. The players are good enough. The questions for me are about what they're being asked to do and how they're being developed and coached. And that's all I have to say. Lean on the very people that got you here. And I think everything is going to be fine. I really do. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Jay Grizz, Coach Freeman, stop being Mr. Nice Guy and going to Trestle for advice every time a major decision is needed, champ. Hey, Lou Holtz, Thunderbolts. Thunder and Bolts, thank you for the super chat. I hope what Malik shared about players being too comfy isn't true. Devastating. Indeed changed my life. There's too, man. I'm honored that opportunity. I've never been in a locker room like that to say how things should be and what the focus should be. I know in basketball, for me, I was the guy that kept everything light. So I'm sure there's a balance. In a locker room before a game, you have focus. You have guys that keep you locked in. And I'm sure you need to have guys that kind of keep it light. You know, but for him, going back as a player, it was a far cry from what he knew as a player. And it was kind of shell-shocking to him, you know, so. But he made great points. Nita Beta, thank you for the super chat. Hey, y'all. What's up, Nita? I had to take a time out yesterday, decided to move on and start thinking about Purdue. Ladies and gentlemen, Notre Dame is going to beat Purdue. They're going to beat Purdue. They're going to put up a lot of points against Purdue. They just are. How much will we learn from that performance? I really don't know. I don't know what we're going to learn from that performance. I don't know. But we'll find out. The GTBs, Brian Hatton. Oh, that's a nice steak you got there. Do you guys think Taylor wanted to be the hero? Tyler, I'm sure you're saying Tyler, wanted to be the hero and bobbled that snap on purpose to be included. That Wildcat is the dumbest thing ever with the defense when the defense is just selling out. Yeah, if you're going to go Wildcat, you have to have 2 running backs back there to give you a viable option going into both directions to keep them honest, or a running quarterback that is a viable running quarterback in that position. Otherwise, defenses are just going to collapse the backside. Jeremiah is going to have to avoid guys 1-2 yards in the backfield, and you're going to continue to have teams getting a bunch of TFLs on defense, the way things are operating. And no, I don't think Tyler did. Did you see his face after everything? He wanted to disappear. He wanted to disappear. Teammates tried to console him, but no, I don't think that's not in his nature, in my opinion. D-Mont, Mr. Food Lover. When they punted the ball to them down inside the 5-yard line, one of the rushes, we had 2 defenders trying to rush the quarterback with the backs to the O-line. Am I the only one that saw this or seen this? Go back and rewatch. Yes, I did see Boubacar on a couple of occasions attempt a spin move and got stuck in the midst of the spin move. I'll say this, Boubacar, and I said this before the season. I said in the middle of the season, that's when you're going to start to see the best of Boubacar Traore. You're not going to see the best. He's not as twitchy as he was. And why would you expect him to be as twitchy? It hasn't been a full calendar year. Hasn't been a full calendar year for him returning from injury. And I said it. I expect him to get better physically as the year goes on. But I did see both things that you talked about. Indy Mill fan says, are you surprised we haven't seen CJ play behind center and no play action? I am. Yeah, that's as much as I'll say on that. You have to ask Mike Denbrock. Left, would you say there's some jealousy in the locker room? Brian Hatton, jealousy? Nah. I'll speak for Left. And matter of fact, I'll ask him that on tomorrow's show. But I don't think there's any jealousy. I do think there might be some locker room. No, I don't want to say that because then that would be misleading. No, I don't think there's jealousy coming from the locker room. I don't. I don't know if this has been asked, but would or could Notre Dame be 2-0 or 1-1 right now if Angeli would start? No. No. Definitely not against Miami. No. That had nothing to do with these losses have nothing to do with the quarterback. Nothing. Steve Angeli being the quarterback doesn't change a thing about the defense or the coaching. Nothing. Ryan Loftus, why can't Notre Dame ever just put it all together? It's a lot of teams in college football asking that. But I understand, Ryan. I get it. Seems like once we get one side of the ball dominant and we wait for the other side of the ball to join, the other side of the ball has to decrease in order for the opposite side to become what it needs to become. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. Actually, Brian, the recruits that I've spoken to about, I'll look at my phone because I haven't been looking at it during the show. All of the commits, I don't know if you guys have seen this, all of the 26 commits have made a concerted effort from Joey O'Brien, Walton, Javion Osborne, Noah Grubbs, all of them have made a concerted effort on social media in the aftermath of this game and the day after to say we're locked in. We're still locked in. This doesn't change a thing. Now, we still have, 3 months left until we get to National Signing Day. But as of right now, in the aftermath of the game, the 26 class locked in. Shout out to Notre Dame fans that were there in the stadium, because what I've heard is that stadium was rocking and was as electric as any game that has taken any big game in recent history. All of the recruits I've talked to have raved about the atmosphere in that stadium. And most of them come away saying, it wasn't the result we wanted, but that was, to be part of that type of game and that type of atmosphere was absolutely incredible. Multiple guys were super excited. There was definitely a connection between the 26 commits, the 27 recruits, kind of like mingling and getting to know each other and having bonds and all of that stuff as they left South Bend. That was another thing that I heard. And I think the third thing that I would say that was consistent was getting the opportunity to talk to the coaches and to meet Marcus Freeman, and just to see the interaction with the Notre Dame players. People came away impressed. Young men and their families came away impressed with what they saw. Definitely disappointment in what they saw as far as, particular groups, how they performed. But overall experience, for the most part, I think most of the recruits were very happy and very excited about what they saw, right? Because crazy as we think, they are 3 months away from watching the 26 class sign. And then literally 2 months after that, or literally a month after that, in some days, Junior Day will be taking place at Notre Dame. So that's how fast life comes at them. Some of them are 7 to 8 weeks from their seasons being over, or either continuing into the playoffs and on to a championship. And then their focus totally turns to, their recruiting as they go into their senior season. So I'll have updates on Prep Star recruiting over on patreon.com on Wednesday. Chat, you've been great. Thank you all for tapping in. Even the detractors, as I say all the time, man, we can disagree about Notre Dame. We can disagree about a lot of things. But I always say love on each other and treat each other with respect. That's all we can do. Love on each other, treat each other with respect. Appreciate you guys tapping in. We'll see you tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that Players Only podcast and lock in. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Bleav Network audio podcast each and every day. FanDuel, we're presented by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app. Notre Dame 27.5-point favorites over at FanDuel, and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that button. The thumbs up, we appreciate it. For Left, SD2 Mics, we'll get back with you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty podcast. Continue to spin it different.